Hey, what is going on, folks? Got a little something different today. If you watched my last video, or if you're aware of what the hell I had going on today, I went to the hobby store, had to get some supplies. Obviously, I ended up looking around and picking up a bunch of crap I didn't really need. I got some 25-cent mystery packs that I opened in my last video, which were actually really cool, and I got all the supplies I needed, which it was quite a bit. And I guess it wasn't quite a bit, but I got some more boxes and top loaders and that kind of crap. There's a lot to carry. Then I had a pack of 2018 Score football and a pack of 2019 Donruss that didn't have shit in it at all. But the other thing I picked up, which I didn't reveal until the end of my last video, is, I don't know, probably 30 Star Wars cards. Empire Strikes Back cards, actually. As a kid, this movie was the shit. I mean, I don't know what else to even say. I hate to curse, but it was the shit. I want to say Empire Strikes Back came out probably 82, 83, something like that. And in 82, I was in second grade. In 83, I was in third grade. And I was a Star Wars nut as a kid. Had most of the action figures. And I loved Star Wars. And I had a lot of the cards. And as I got older, the cards were in bad shape. I got older, and I'm sure I just threw them out. So when I was in there looking around today, just getting ready to check out, I looked over and I saw a bin of Star Wars cards, or a box of Star Wars cards. He had them down at 3 for $2. So I'm looking through. I find I got a few that I think I had 6 that I wanted. I look over 2 boxes to the right, and another guy, this card shop, he does a lot of stuff on consignment, has friends bring stuff in, whatever. But they mistakenly put one big box of Star Wars cards out that one guy was selling at 3 for $2, and one box away from it on the table, they put out another big lot of Star Wars cards that somebody was selling that were 3 for $1. So I spent all the time going through the 3 for $2 bin before I realized there was a 3 for $1 bin. So basically I went through and switched out everything I possibly could. The owner of the shop didn't even realize that he had it set up like that. So I think it'll be fixed moving forward. But it was kind of nuts. I was getting the exact same cards in better condition for half the price just because I noticed I had them. These cards... Try to see. 1980? Did Empire Strikes Back come out? Well, Star Wars was 77, so maybe Empire Strikes Back was 1980. I know the first one that I actually saw in a theater would have been Return of the Jedi. Maybe that was 83. Maybe I got my years messed up when I was talking earlier. But anyhow, Return of the Jedi was then, is now, and I think always will be my favorite of the Star Wars movies. And I'm a big Boba Fett fan. I got an 8x10 I'm hanging in my man cave right now. But anyhow, I'm just going to run through these quick. If you're looking for sports cards, there's not going to be any in this video. We're just going to look at my Empire Strikes Back cards, and then we're going to call it a video at that point. So, starting off, we got the Bounty Hunter, Boba Fett. Star Quiz. How is the half-assembled 3PO transported on Bespin? Chewbacca carries him. Oh, I like how they put the answer right at the bottom. I bet you I can answer most of these. This card is so cool, folks. The awesome one. The awesome one. Lord freaking Vader. The awesome one. Let's see what our trivia is. The Sand People travel across the sandy wastes of Tatooine on the backs of huge furry creatures. These beasts are known as, I want to say wombas? Oh my god. Answer to Star Quiz of card number 1. Oh, they've got the answers on different cards. I'm not doing that. Like I said, I'm a big Boba Fett fan, and actually, I like IG-88 also. He had a very bit part. He doesn't speak. He's a robot. But he was one of the bounty hunters that was after Han. And I think the reason that I like him is I had his action figure. He was real. The problem was he was tall. He was real long and somewhat fragile. I know I broke his arm or his leg off at some point. I didn't usually do that. I took care of my shit. But he was bigger than all the rest of them. He was taller. So he didn't fit in any of the same stuff. And you know how it is. It's like the, what is it, 89 Bowman? The cards that are about a quarter of an inch bigger than everything else. So if you don't store them properly, you tear either the top or the bottom up, whatever's hanging out. Well, that was IG-88 in the action figure world in 1981. But anyhow, cool card. Whoa, boy. Bounty Hunter droid IG-88 and the notorious, mysterious Boba Fett join in Darth Vader's plan to capture Han Solo and his rebel friends. Coming next, enter Lando Calrissian. These cards are cool. Looks like whoever made them didn't put a whole level. I mean, the picture quality on some of these is just awful. I mean, these cards are in terrible condition. I mean, you see the corners, they're faded, they're scuffed. But they're also cool as hell. I'm not going to read the back of all of these. But basically, most of these cards that I have here are some of the ones that I had when I was a very young kid. And they were my favorites then. So I pretty much replaced all the ones that I threw out somewhere along the line. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. No Star Wars, no Return of the Jedi. All Empire. Next up, the Dark Lord of the Sith. I distinctly, look at that corner. Whew. I distinctly remember this card when I was growing up. Or when I was a kid. It was one of my favorites. Just so mysterious and evil and evil. There you go. And obviously I'm a big fan of the bounty hunters. We've got Bosk, is the dog guy, whatever the hell he is. Boba Fett, IG-88, and what the hell's that guy's name? I'm an idiot. I don't remember it. This dude right here. I cannot remember his name. Bosk, I always liked, but his problem was his action figure. See how his arms look long and deformed and not right? His arms were always in the way. They didn't work right. Enough Bosk. Okay, I got every one of the Starfile cards that they had there, I purchased, just because they're so cool. We got a Starfile. I remember as a kid, I used to use, like I was playing Empire Strikes Back or whatever the hell it was, and this is how we kind of used them as identification, if you will. So here's our Starfile, Han Solo. Let's see what the back says. Gives you all his stats. Classification, human, 6 foot, 34 years old when the movies were made. How about that? Eyes brown, hair brown. No one knows where he was born. In the comments on Han Solo, he's a former space pirate with a high price on his head, wanted in several star systems by Jabba the Hutt. Han Solo is currently working with Princess Leia as a captain in the Rebel forces, following Han Solo's significant contribution to their successful Death Star campaign. I didn't really read that right. I didn't catch the punctuation, but yeah, you did a nice job, Han. Way to handle things. Next up, the ones in the penny sleeves were the ones that were in the dollar box. The ones that are in really bad shape were in the $2 box. So obviously, I switched out 3/4 of the cards that I had pulled out of the $2 box and went with a better condition, cheaper card from the $1 box. I just can't believe there was 2 boxes of Empire Strikes Back cards sitting there that close to each other, and I happen to note it's just so random. Okay, Starfile card for Chewie. Chewbacca. Chewbacca is classified as a Wookiee. He's 8 foot tall, 200 pounds. That's actually pretty slim, I would say. For an 8-footer, I would want him to be 400 or 500 pounds. Eyes blue, hair brown. You're telling me Chewbacca has blue eyes, and I never noticed that? I don't know about that. Planet of birth, Kazhaik. A Wookiee whose contributions to the rebellion have earned him the deepest respect, admiration, and honor. Currently, Chewie is co-pilot of Han Solo's pirate ship, the Millennium Falcon. And a boy there, Chewie. Now I've got another Awesome One card. It looks like I got a couple of these babies. That one's real torn up. But the Awesome One, Lord Vader. I got some of the spacecraft cards. Slave 1, that was Boba Fett's vehicle. This one is in the worst shape of any of the StarCraft cards that I purchased. It's creased and just garbage, but this was the only one in the whole damn place, so I bought it anyhow. Boba Fett's ship, the Slave 1, is elliptical in shape and looks somewhat like a helmet in form. This unusual craft is used by Fett in his career as a bounty hunter and is the ship that carries the carbonite-encased Han Solo away from Cloud City. Ooh, that was some scary shit back in the day. Speaking of the Cloud City of Bespin, we've got the Twin Pod Cloud Car. I think I remember this more, not because of the movie, but because of the toys. Seems like everyone had these damn Twin Pod Cloud Cars. I'm not going to read the back of that, but cool. Another Bounty Hunter Boba Fett card. Another awesome one. Another awesome one. Just look at the difference in these two cards. I mean, that one is in bad shape. I mean, just look at the difference in the black. Anyhow, another Boba Fett. Evil threatens. Obviously, I'm a big Vader guy, too. Boba Fett. What is this guy's name? I do not remember this guy's name. If you can remember what his name is, leave it in the comments. I guess I can Google it. I can't believe I don't remember his name, but I do not. Anyhow, Vader and a bounty hunter. Another Boba Fett. Another Boba Fett. Starcraft. The Imperial Star Destroyer. This is a badass ship, boys. It will make shit disappear. Well, it's no Death Star, but it's still sweet ship. These massive wedge-shaped spacecraft are the flagships of the Imperial forces. Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, the Executor, see separate card, which I did not buy, is the largest of these ships, but all destroyers inspire awe and fear in the galaxy the evil empire would dominate. Although when I see those, I always at some point think about Spaceballs. Because if you've seen Spaceballs, the movie starts out with the shot over the Star Destroyer, basically, but they stretch it into like 4 minutes. Like the thing never ends, and when it does end, it's got a bumper sticker. I can't remember what it says. I love Uranus, maybe? If it doesn't say that, it should. I should write movies. Okay, Galaxy's most loyal droids. We have C-3PO and R2-D2. Another thing I found, which I didn't actually realize until the last couple days when I've been looking at Star Wars cards, is now that R2-D2 is the letter R, the number 2, dash, the letter D, the number 2. These days, that's how he's known. If you look at some of this older stuff, let's see if this one, it's not going to say his name, but even on the front of the card, it'll say R2, A-R-T-O-O. I guess at that point, Star Wars wasn't really a household name like it became. So they were probably doing that just so people understood how to pronounce his name. I really dropped the ball before I started this little show and tell on my Star Wars cards. I look up right here on my desk, and I could have changed my backdrop out and had something a little bit more appropriate. So we are going to yank our set apart a little bit here. And the 2019 Topps Holiday Box is going to go, and we're going to bring in one of the Dark Lords of the Sith, one of the greatest villains of all time, voiced by James Earl Jones, also a Field of Dreams fame. That's right, folks, Lord Vader. Alright, we're almost done with these cards. I probably don't have anybody watching this because I think everyone is probably... I shouldn't say everyone. I guess if you're like me and you just got back into card collecting, you're probably somewhere around the same age, and we're probably a Star Wars fan too, or at least hopefully you were. Starfile Boba Fett. I love these. I feel like you're pulling their, it's like you're pulling their file, basically, giving you the info. And of course, back in 1980, there was no internet, so this kind of information, you know, you had some comic books and that kind of thing, but there was no, you couldn't get this information. All right, we're talking about Boba Fett. He is a human, 6 foot tall, 43 years old. Nobody has any idea what his eyes look like because he wears that helmet all the time. Nobody knows what his hair looks like, but as I recall, a lot of these Fett boys had long hair, actually. Planet of birth is also unknown. The armor-clad Boba Fett is an infamous bounty hunter who has worked with representatives of the Empire before. He is currently being paid by Jabba the Hutt to capture and deliver the rebel captain named Han Solo. And he did. Boba Fett did his job. He actually, for as popular as a character as what he is, he went out in the shittiest way. He got knocked into the freaking mouth of that, whatever the hell it is, on when Luke and Leia broke Han Solo out of Jabba's deal. I can't remember what the hell that thing's called either. I need to really bone up on my Star Wars before I start making videos about it. Look, stupid. All right, we got a snow-swept Chewbacca. The reason Chewbacca is snow-swept is this photo was taken on the ice planet of Hoth. And that's an awesome picture. I still don't see blue eyes, though. Do you? One of my favorite... I kind of like the bad guys. I didn't realize it until today. But one of my favorite Starcrafts in any of the movies, in any movie ever made, one of my favorite Starcrafts of all time, the TIE Fighter. And I like the TIE Fighter because I like the noise they make. They're awesome. They're evil. They are super fast, highly efficient one-man fighting machines used extensively by Imperial forces. These ships shoot twin lasers and are frequently pitted against the somewhat more graceful X-Wing fighters of the Rebellion. Another awesome one card. The Imperial Star Destroyer. Did we already do this one? Yeah, we did. Sweet. And of course, probably my second favorite Starcraft in the entire series, to the TIE Fighter. More specifically, Vader's TIE Fighter. The wings were shaped a little bit different. When you heard that, when you heard them things screaming, you knew the shit was about to hit the fan. But anyhow, my number 2, the Millennium Falcon. Never got the toy. Never had the toy. I'd go over to a couple friends' house that did, and I get to play with it every now and again, but I never got a Millennium Falcon. Thank God I don't collect vintage toys, because believe me, I'd have 5, 6 Millennium Falcons around here, and I just don't need to get into that. Okay, the Millennium Falcon, originally a Corellian pirate ship, is now owned and operated by Captain Han Solo and his first mate, the Wookiee Chewbacca. Han made a lot of adjustments in this craft after winning it from his old friend Lando Calrissian in a Sabak match. The Falcon can achieve light speed when it is functioned properly, of course, and has storage compartments that are sometimes used for smuggling. Because that's what pirates do, folks. Another TIE Fighter. Awesome. The Rebel Armored Snowspeeder. It's got that little Gatling gun thing on the back. They shot the Imperial walkers and then wrapped around and basically tripped them. Really inefficient design on those Imperial walkers. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb how you take them down. And thank God the Rebel forces had Gatling guns on the back of every Rebel armored snowspeeder. These are cool cards. Or cool Starcrafts. Dak met his end in one of these. Poor Dak. I'm not going to read the whole thing. This video is almost 20 minutes already. Starfile Lando Calrissian. He's a gambler. That's how he lost the Millennium Falcon to Han. Okay, he's a human. He's 5'10", 36 years old, black hair, black eyes. No one knows where he was born. Lando Calrissian is an ex-smuggler and pirate and once a close friend of Han Solo before the double cross. Lando Calrissian now runs mining operations on the Cloud City of the Bespin system. I thought it was Cloud City of Bespin, not Cloud City. I'll have to look that up. I wonder if this changed. Anyhow, Cloud City, it should be noted, is a highly technological city whose prosperity stems from the rich resources of Tibanna gas. Another Falcon. Can't have enough of these. Another Falcon, in pretty good shape, too. Okay. C-3PO. This is exactly what I was talking about with R2-D2. C-3PO's name, and anything you see now, is going to be the letter C, the number 3, the letter P, the letter E, the letter O. Not C-3PO. But again, since Star Wars was not a household name when this movie came out, obviously the first movie was wildly successful, and Empire Strikes Back, which is where these cards came from, is a sequel. But it seems to me they were spelling the names phonetically just so people could get used to it and get comfortable with them. So there's your C-3PO. He's a droid. He's 5'8". That's not very tall. I think C-3PO was taller than 5'8", to be honest with you. Age is unknown, his eyes are white, and he is made of gold. A human-shaped protocol droid, useful as an interpreter of many languages and dialects used throughout the galaxy. Last but not least, we got the Starfile card for the great Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. Excuse me. Okay, Princess Leia Organa, classification human, height 5 foot tall. Oh, it's perfect. Age 20. She actually passed a few years ago from old age. That tells you anything. She did a lot of drugs. She was married to Paul Simon. I believe she once said that the best moment of her life was tripping acid on the beach with Paul Simon. And I have to say that if I was ever in a situation where I was tripping acid on the beach with Paul Simon, it might be the greatest moment of my life too. But that's neither here nor there. Today we're talking about the Empire. Eyes brown, hair brown, planet of birth, Alderaan. Alderaan no longer exists, obviously, because when they tested the Death Star, they blew it away. I felt the disturbance in the Force. Whole lot of people crying out. Anyhow, Princess Leia Organa was a senator and a member of the royal family of the now obliterated planet of Alderaan. I didn't know it said that, or I would have shut up. Princess Leia continues her work for the rebellion with the ultimate destruction of the Imperial Alliance as her primary goal. Lucasfilm Limited, 1980, all rights reserved. All right, so that's it, folks. That is my, I guess I'd say card shop pickups for today. The 1980 Empire Strikes Back random cards that I bought 3 for $1, most of them. But these are really cool. I'm probably actually going to put them in top loaders so there's no more damage to them. And they don't got a hell of a lot of value, but I love them. All right, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, give me a like. It doesn't hurt. Throw me a comment. That definitely doesn't hurt. I'm kind of stalled on the subscriptions. I think my content's getting kind of weak, but I've been kind of broke, so I'm kind of doing a lot of cheap shit. But we'll get it back together. I'm just going to keep putting out the content. We'll see where it goes. And I'm telling you, I'm getting some kind of hidden camera so you can come with me when I go to these card shows or the flea markets or whatever, because I think that is some cool shit. All right, that's all I got for you tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and may the Force be with you.